the pandemic, economic crisis, racial injustice, the climate crisis, and threats to our very democracy. And the question is, are we up to it? Will we meet the moment like our forebears have? I believe we must, and I believe we will.
There's Biden speaking last night from the Lincoln Memorial. Earlier in the day, he signed a string of executive orders, including one requiring masks on all federal property. Biden is set to put his name to another 10 of those orders today in the Oval Office. So let's bring in our senior Washington editor, Lindsay Duncombe, to look ahead to the kind of action we expect to see from the 46th president today. Lindsay.
These executive orders will largely be focused on dealing with the pandemic. One of the things we know that the president wants to do is enable agencies to use the Defense Production Act in order to get supplies needed to get more vaccines into people's arms. The idea of mass vaccinations is something we're also expecting to hear in Joe Biden's speech today. He is going to be talking to the American people about the pandemic, about the details of those executive orders. But there is only so much you can do by executive order. And part of the audience for Joe Biden's words will be Republicans on the Hill, because he has also laid forward a expensive, close to $2 trillion plan to get more funding to fight the pandemic. And reaching out to get bipartisan agreement on that is something that his communications director referred to earlier today.
But you're also going to see him calling on Congress and encouraging Congress and pushing Congress to pass the American Rescue Plan to get this badly needed money out to states and out to communities so that we have the resources that we need to ensure that people can get vaccinated and we can start to turn the corner.
And this will be a real test for the administration, because there's only so long you can blame the outgoing administration for the problems. If things go well, if the death rates start to come down, if the hospitalizations start to come down, if people end up getting vaccinated over the next couple of months, then that bodes well in terms of goodwill for the administration. If it is difficult and does not go well, then it becomes more difficult to maintain that goodwill.
We heard the communications director use the phrase, turn the page or turn to the next chapter. So much of the Inauguration Day talk was about that same theme, Lindsay. What is the kind of change we expect to see in how the White House operates?
Well, for one, there will be daily press briefings. Jen Psaki, the press secretary, is expected to talk to the media every day, answer those questions. She's committed to transparency, so they won't become those sparring sessions when there were some briefings in the Trump administration, although there hasn't been very many for a while. And there is a message from the Biden administration that what Joe Biden wants to do is bring back decency to the White House. This is something that he talked about to incoming political appointees after or in the ceremony where they took the oath of office.
But I'm not joking when I say this. If you're ever working with me and I hear you treat another colleague with disrespect, talk down to someone, I promise you I will fire you on the spot. On the spot. No ifs, ands, or buts. Everybody is entitled to be treated with decency and dignity. That's been missing in a big way the last 4 years.
So certainly a different tone there from the President of the United States, Joe Biden, from all of the drama of the Trump White House. So maybe that means that it won't be quite as volatile, and maybe Americans won't have to pay as much attention to the goings-on of the White House, although certainly there is much to watch for us with all of these crises and the administration's handling of them.
Lindsay, thank you very much.